Alright, here we are for round 3. We will still keep. We will still wish our opponent good luck. This is the first roll of this deck we haven't won today. So, what lands are we going to want to get? Let's figure this out. We're going to want double red, but we're not going to want it for a while. I think one of them is going to need a Godless Shrine. And I think the other one is going to get an Overgrown Tomb. No, I think my Godless Shrine, or no. I'm better off getting a Temple Garden and a Blood Cleave, or Blood Crypt. So, Blood Crypt, Temple Garden. Then we'll also get to see what our opponent's doing over there, which is good. Steam Vents could be a lot of things. I'm actually surprised that I haven't seen more of this online. There was a good period of time there before Bloodbraid Elf got banned that maybe 1 out of every 2 people was playing with Jund in some fashion, whether it was Lotus Cobra Jund or Standard Jund or all these different things. So he's playing USA, and when in I'm taking the Snapcaster here. It's just too much utility. If he wants to deal with the Confidant, he's going to have to path it like every other red-blooded American. Of course he might not want to now that I'm down to 14. But maybe he will. Nope. Maybe he's drawn burn? Okay. He just didn't want to take the damage. We would like another black, please. So I have 2 choices here. I can go... I think the play is to get Tarmogoyf into play and then Dark Confidant. We're going to want a second red. I really hate going down to 11. So he must have found another way to remove the Dark Confidant. The second one. So he's just going to bounce it. If I draw a land here, I'm just going to play Thundermaw instead. Well, I needed an untapped land. That's not going to do it. Am I better off playing Dark Confidant or am I better off playing Liliana the Veil? I actually think I'm better off playing Liliana. Than discarding Lingering Souls. I'm not sure who has the advantage in this matchup. I would think that this kind of Jund deck would be favored over a deck like this. So let's go to combat first. I realize I'm giving up 5 damage by doing it this way, but I don't want to get blown out and have him counterbalance Tarmogoyf. Now he's got to think long and hard. Okay, so he's going to bounce the Liliana. That's fine. So we have 2 giant threats in play, which is good for us. And we have enough black to play both Liliana and Dark Confidant. So he's going to snap Path. He's a snap Cryptic. Probably better for him. But it does let us resolve Liliana again. So he's probably not in the best position right now. I would guess that one of those cards in his hand is land. He is able to take out... Okay, yeah, he's just going to concede. He didn't realize that that was going to make the Tarmogoyf bigger. So what do we like doing for this matchup? I kind of like bringing Layla into the Void. Is it worth bringing in to... Because Lingering Souls is not that great anyway. Let's do a 3-for-3 trade there. I like that. I don't really see the point in changing anything else. I could see bringing in the 4th ley line for Abrupt Decay. I think I'm just going to run with that for now and see how it goes. I don't see the incentive to change too much. And I do like taking his graveyard out of the picture. I mean, these Deathrite Shamans are not going to be that great. If I took those out... I mean, it's just a 1/2 creature without a graveyard, right? What else can I put in? Would I be better off using half of a Lingering Souls? Would I be better off with Lightning Helix? Yeah, I still don't see the point to Abrupt Decay. I mean, I guess just bringing stuff that does at least something. Let's try this. This might not be what I want to do. This is a decent hand. I don't think I'm going to mulligan it. Doesn't have a ley line, but that's fine. We can turn 2 Dark Confidant, which is good. So he's got to have some sort of burn or a leak, which he probably does. That's going to get a Blood Crypt. So he's just going to Lightning Helix it or bolt it or something. Yeah. That's fine. And then I think we can just pass the turn. Now we could use a Godless Shrine. That's something I want. So let's go ahead and Thoughtseize first. This is going to raise the Tarmogoyf to a 4-5, which is good. So he has a Dispense Justice. Interesting. And he can exile black or red permanents. I think I'm going to take the Dispense Justice. Now we can start getting in for 4 or more return. And I am more than happy to trade half of a Lingering Souls for a Mana Leak. I'm also happy to trade an Electrolyze for one. But this is why I wanted to take this card out. That's one problem with this matchup. There's more that we want to take out than we want to put in. Okay, so we got the Mana Leak out of his hand, which means that we can drop a Thundermaw next turn. He will be able to purge it if he wants, but if he does that, he cannot do anything with his Colonnade. And he's going to do that. Does he have a path as well? So he's just going to chump. Okay, no, he's going to block Bolt. So he's down to 3 cards in his hand. I would be interested to see if he attacks here. Two, three, four, five, six. Let's Inquisition first, and then we're going to drop Batterskull. And that's going to be how we put this game away. So you can only take Izzet Charm or Lightning Bolt. I'm actually kind of fine with him having the Bolt. I'm going to take the Izzet Charm. Then we'll pass a turn. So he has Bolt and Supreme Verdict. So he'll go down to 8 here. He's actually at 5. This is another... that's a little annoying. I am fine putting him with 5 to 5 here. This might end up going to a game 3. That was a really good draw. That's going to get us back in this game. As long as he doesn't have any way to kill it. So if he doesn't have a way to kill it, he's in trouble because I'm equipping now. But I think he does have a bolt. So he can either bolt it and not return his Batterskull, and that's what he's going to have to do. So I don't think we have any way out of this. 3, 4. I think he just has... I mean, we're in top deck mode. We don't have any way to answer his colonnades. He has an answer to our Raging Ravine. I think we're going to move on to game 3. I'm starting to think maybe the Leylands were a mistake. I do still like the Batterskull, because we do have that useless Abrupt Decay. I actually think I like Olivia instead of a Bolt. And I almost think I like Sowing Salt. No. Do I want to Sowing Salt his colonnades? I mean, that's how he wins the game. I would put those in instead of what? An Ajani? Ajani's not that good in this matchup, so I could see that. So I'm just kind of experimenting with some sideboard possibilities. I definitely like this hand. We have a turn 2 Liliana, which we're definitely going to want to get in play. This is going to have to get an Overgrown Tomb. Our opponent is thinking long and hard about whether or not to mulligan. So he's going to need to kill the Deathrite this turn with anything but a path. And he might have it. That's fine. Do I rather Thoughtseize here? I think I Thoughtseize before I drop the Confidant. I just need to start stripping things that can hurt my threats out of his hand. I'm actually going to take the Batter Skull here. And this turn I'm going to drop the Tarmogoyf. It is nice and large already, which is good. We're going to get a red Source here and a black. Blood Crypt's fine. That was the best draw in the world. So let's go ahead and see if we can get rid of his Colonnades. I mean, he'll have one left. So, what does he have in his hand? So he does have a Supreme Verdict. And he is playing 2 Ajani Vengeance of his own. So, cannot take that other one in play, which is unfortunate. We're not going to play the Liliana here. I'm not going to play the Dark Confidant. I want him to Supreme Verdict next turn, so I can drop the other Tarmogoyf. Really? Black, black. We only have 2 blacks, so... That's a little unfortunate. It's a good draw on his part. So he is going to have to Supreme Verdict this turn. And if he does this, I'm going to drop both the Confidant and the Liliana. Give him a choice. So he discards the Celestial Purge. He must have a second one. Oh, there's another Batter Skull. I don't think he realizes, though, that that's not going to do it for him, though. Or maybe he was doing it to lower Liliana? I don't know. But he did give us an extra card off the Confidant, so I'm not really sure what his plan is right now. That might have really hurt him. He's got a dead Batterskull on the board, and a live Tarmogoyf and a Dark Confidant. And an active Liliana, and then he doesn't know this, but I have another Liliana in my hand. So he's probably not thinking about keeping up counterspells right now. He's probably thinking about how to deal with the threats on the board. So he deals with the Dark Confidant, which is the first thing he needs to do. Let's attack first and see if he has a solution for the Tarmogoyf. So at this point, I think we're playing Deathrite since he's dead on board to that. And I'm not going to tick up Liliana. Because I think his play is to return Batterskull to his hand and then drop it again. Or not. He can buy himself another turn by blocking with the Colonnade. But he's at a life total where any burn I draw is live. He has no other kind of burn, otherwise I don't think he would have used Izzet Charm. I think he's gonna have to chump with his Colonnade. And then, yeah, he's gotta hope on what he draws next turn can do it. But he's thinking long and hard about this. I've seen his name before. I have a feeling we've played him before in some of our videos. Since the only time I'm really jumping heavily into modern two-man queues is on the weekends when I'm recording. But we'll let him think it out. That was a good draw. So we see him chump. So far, plan is the same. We will +1 at this point to get rid of his last card, which was Sphinx's Revelation, which is good to get rid of. And now our Tarmogoyf is a 6/7 as well. So path and only path keeps him not dead here. And of course he has it. We'll get our last basic and get rid of his Snapcaster. We'll keep the black cleave cliffs in our hand just as something to discard. So he has nothing. Let's play a Dark Confidant and tick up. So he's still in a very bad position, but he's managed to buy himself some turns. So now we have damage on the board in the form of Sterling Wildwood, which is good. And he's dead. So he managed to really kind of tough it out near the end, but we were able to get him. So we are 3-0, and we'll go ahead and head to the last match now.